Red dust on my sandals, still I walk in grace. Face to the sunrise, tears drying on my face. Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from the ground again. Dancing through damage.
Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Ashes with Auntie Mercy. On today's show, we have another guest, a guest that is coming from a background of widowhood at a very young age, and she faced quite a number of challenges having children as well. Beautiful Ashes is here to inspire and to encourage our viewers out there to know that no matter what challenge, no matter what place you're at, you can come out of it. We are here to encourage you to have faith and to have hope, knowing that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly after this short break.
Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from the ground. Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from the ground.
Welcome back, our viewers. As I mentioned, today we have a guest, and our guest this morning is Miss Hilda Hangoma. Sister Hilda, Miss Hilda, Madam Hilda, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, madam.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on this program. When I heard your story, it really inspired me.
Okay.
So to start with, can you tell us about yourself, just a little bit about your background?
Okay, my name is Hilda Hangoma Matimba. Those who would want to know the surname of my late husband. I grew up in the Lulu area, specifically in Central Province, a place called Mungule. Yeah, a child who was brought up in a simple background, but well rooted in the word of God through my mother, who is a Dorcas mother in the church, Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah, growing up with with family whereby your father is not a believer. Yeah, such kind of life, but your mother is someone who is like a strong woman in faith. Yeah, that helped to mold my character as a child at a tender age. Okay. So I became a young Christian at the age of 12. That's when I was baptized. Okay. Yeah, in Seventh-day Adventist church in a church called the Cholopelo SDA Church.
Okay.
Yes.
So were you born in that area, in Mungule area, or your parents just went and settled there?
I was born there because my parents grew up in Eastern Province in Katete, but they moved to that area in the early age, somewhere after 85 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, because me, I was born in 1988 somewhere there. Yeah.
So you went to school in Mungule.
Yes, I was at a school called Namnunga Primary School from grade 1 up to 7. Yes.
And what was life like in that rural setting? Because Mungule, I believe, is in just after 10 miles, 15 miles outskirts of Lusaka. Now that there's so much development, you can't even tell the difference. Paonekati uku ni kuminzi, but those days kwenze sanga maningi. So what was life like in Mungule and in school?
Yeah, growing up in a village, I could say that. So those days it was a jungle area full of things that threatening. We could barely see vehicles coming, and we used to walk, going to school barefooted. You can imagine in times like winter seasons without shoes. The only shoe that you can wear, you can like boast to say I have a shoe. It's a plastic shoe called the Sophia.
Oh, the Sophia, yes,
Yeah.
I remember the Sophia, and those were lifesavers actually.
Yeah, I used to always be late, and I know this one, it has like come in my life, like again, late to school. Whenever I go, the teacher will beat you, tell you to put your feet on the stone and beat you. So as we grew up in a school whereby you are disciplined, and compared to this time where when you discipline a child at school, they sue you. As we never used to have that opportunity.
Oh yes.
Yeah, benze kutimenya isi bakumenya
Ukwapuliwa zo.
kwenzeli but unyamulema hanglayon kwenzeli, but it was a village setup. But my goal and my career, I wanted to be a journalist ready, or to be a soldier at some point.
A soldier?
Yeah.
What was attracting you to those careers of wanting to be a journalist or musoja?
I used to just love the color of the uniform when it comes to soldiers as a young child. Then also when I look at airplanes, I see people talking, having headsets, bigger headsets in their head. So I'll be inspired. I'll be like, when I grow up, I want to be a journalist. Yeah, so that's what I started. And I was good in English at that time. Yeah, I pushed, mom pushed, my father, what he knew was like just drinking beer.
Also,
and he never used to help out with mom when it comes to school things. Yeah.
So you are coming from a home where it was like you had a father, but monga sibali, because even the support. But was he working?
No, he was just full-time as farmer.
Oh, he was farming.
Yeah, full-time where his passion was in growing cotton. Yeah. That's this.
So was he, when he would grow that cotton, was he selling it? Was it more like commercial, or it was kulima pangono chabe to minda to ngono?
It was big by then. Yeah, somewhere in 94, I remember the bags, the bigger ones, and dad was like so passionate with cotton farming, and you could like when bakolola my bags yakulu it was like 4 somewhere. Then when he sells, he could have a lot of money. He will give mommy quite a lot. Yeah, but at some point he will be like, give me back the money that I gave you. I'll give you back. Okay. He was like, Congolesa me some, I'll give you back.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, but mom was very brave at that time. He helped us, see us through in school. Yeah, whereby you grew up in a family of 6. We are 6 with my mother. So I'm the second born, my sister and me. Then we have like another siblings that I have.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
So was your mom also farming with your dad, or she was doing something else?
She was, and also she was doing business. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they were both helping in the home to raise you children.
Yes.
So when you were in school and you had dreams, you were aspiring to be either a journalist or a soldier. How was the education system then? Did you ever share with teachers? Did you have people like careers? Teachers that could advise you on careers and what subjects to take if you want to go into that field?
Actually, I never had that encounter by then. Yeah, so I was just keeping it to myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you share it with your mother or your siblings, anyone, with your friends, to say, Kakula, I want to be this, I want to do that? And was there anyone that encouraged you in your dreams?
Yes, my mother did. I used to share with her.
Okay.
Yeah, she would like say, you need to study hard. Study hard. If I were you, I would have like put my everything together so that I achieve my dream. So I will encourage you to go for that as long as you know how to read, you know how to write. So
Yes.
yeah, that's the reason why I was like using vichani families, vimampukut families to like light the fire so that whenever I'm given to my books for school, I go through them, read, help me. Yeah. Actually, I got to know how to read. It was my first book was English, Karulu and Haina story. Yeah. So after that, that's when I started now struggling to learn how to read Tonga until I think from grade 1 up to 6, I never knew how to read Tonga. I had some difficulties because my passion was like to know how to read English. Yeah. Okay. So even the teacher for Tonga used to beat me a lot. I don't know. Please help me. But when I sat for the exam for grade 7, yeah, I don't know how God came through for me. I managed to read and I passed the Tonga. Tonga, yeah, I managed to pass. So that's how it was from grade 1 to 7. I passed my grade 7 and I was supposed to go to Stephen Bende Basic School. By then, that was 2004 when the basic schools were introduced. Yeah, but unfortunately, the money issues came in.
Oh.
Yeah, I struggled until mom had to travel to Southern Province, sell some cows and come. Yeah, I couldn't go there to do a boarding school. So I was like privileged to go to Katuba Basic School, where I did my grade 8. And she like gave my father money to go and pay. I went there, and the money, I don't know the story, how it was, but my father only to be called after a month to the head teacher's office to tell me to say, your money wasn't paid, so you need to pay or else we'll chase you. That's how I went back home, and my mother was broken. She was like, she did well, but how come?
She must come back
She
home.
must come back home. Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Was it a boarding school also in Katuba, or it was a day school that you had to go and come?
It was a day school, but I was staying near with my aunt.
Okay, in the same area.
The same area, just nearby, yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, did your father ever explain to your mom or to you what happened? Did he pay the money, or he maybe didn't? You suspected that he didn't just pay that money?
He didn't pay the money. He went to drink beer, of course. He was a heavy drunkard by then. Yes. He used the money to drink beer, and he never paid. So, though mom managed to pay to clear that balance which was outstanding, and then I pushed until I finished my grade 8 there.
So how did that affect you? How did that feel to know that ulina watate bako but sibaikirako nzeru kuti iwe mwana usirize skulu uyende pasogolo, and yet you had so many dreams, you had so many aspirations, you were looking forward to doing well for yourself. How did that feel emotionally, even mentally? How did that affect you?
I was traumatized, I can't lie. I felt out of the family. I felt like, why is it that my sisters and the other brothers, they like do a lot for them, but like to my side, it's something like that brought questions to say, am I really his daughter or what? What is going on? Because like when it comes to me, he never had that support, and it affected me that in a way that I grew up feeling rejected. Yeah, I could. If you remember, I had like called to ask for some counseling at some point. Yes, it affected me a lot.
How were you coping with that at that age? Were you speaking to your mom, asking for explanations to say, why is it that I feel like I'm segregated, I'm put aside, while the others seem to be favored? Did you have anyone or even a teacher at that time? Because you were young. So did you speak to anyone?
Only my mother.
Only your mom?
Yes, I could speak to her and she would encourage me a lot to say, no, he's your father, no another person. So don't pay attention to that. Just focus with what you want.
Okay.
You know, God is there. He will see you through. Those were my mother's words.
Amen.
Always.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank God for her that she was encouraging you, because being young, you could have easily given up and gone into other vices that other people do. Because some, you find even today in the society, that you find young girls are looking for elderly men with money to pay, even to give them what they want. We see the stories all the time, even in universities, in colleges, in schools, even just high school, basic schools, where you see that there are adults, elderly men that are going vaenda kufuna bafana, and they're taking advantage of them because they are lacking. Yes. They're looking for certain things, and makolo baribe. And some of them, it's not all fathers that are like not providing, but some, they're not just being irresponsible, it's because they also don't have. But you find that because of the peer pressure, the things that are in the world today, children are going out, young ladies are going out, even with men old enough to be their own fathers and grandfathers, just for the sake of money. So I thank God that you didn't go that route. So when you continued with school, up to what stage, or up to what grade did you clear your grade 9? How did it go after that?
Okay, after finishing at Katuba, my grade 8, I couldn't stay there. Then my sister was like helping my sister from my father's elder brother.
Okay,
yeah, cousin. Yeah. So she called me to come and stay with her. That I'll be like helping out at home. Then she'll be paying for me at school. That was in Mwasunka. So she enrolled me at Mwasunka Basic School. That is Chisamba. Okay. That's where now I went there, started my grade 9.
Okay.
So I saw her marriage with the husband never wasn't that good. They wasn't really in good terms, because the way it was, they were staying in one house, but it was a big house with a lot of rooms. But my brother-in-law got married to another woman.
Polygamy. He brought in a second wife.
A second wife for himself. So that commotion, like that what. So she was working in one of the farms in Chisamba there. So she was like, you know what, instead of you see the way this life I'm leading, it's not nice. So I don't know, I know you are a strong girl, so you need to like helping out as well, if you like want to help or to find some money for yourself or what. So the way I analyzed the situation, it wasn't like helping out. She wasn't like reaching where I would want to be. Yeah, so I said to myself to say, I think if there is something that I can do, yes. Then she helped me to see the farm manager. I was young and I was growing up like a very small girl. But then when the manager was like, saw me, he didn't hesitate to give me the job. Because what he asked, why do you want to work? I was like, I want to support myself to go to school. Why? No, my mother is unable to do that at the moment. So, and here where I'm staying with my sister. So there are a lot of challenges that she's facing. So I was privileged to work in that farm. So the way I used to do, when I cross school, I go, I work. You could spare the price for me, that company. I work, then I get the money, I pay. Just like that. Term 1, term 2 in grade 9. Then before I could finish, my cousin came again. He was a soldier. So he came, got me. That was in 2006. Came, picked me. We went to Kohima Barracks.
What kind of work were you doing on the farm? And how old were you at that time?
I think I was less than 17. By then.
And what jobs were you doing on the farm?
We were doing the weeding in the soybeans farms. Very large farm areas.
And would you have to go in very early in the morning, kucherera, or how was it? And were you working full day, like 8 hours a day, or were you just given portions like that?
Yeah, we were actually men. We used to report 8 hours to 16 hours when we knock off. Such kind of arrangements.
And was the pay enough for you to pay at school? Was the salary good enough? Was it covering for the school costs?
Yes, it was compared to that time, but I can't remember how much exactly I was getting paid by then.
But at least it was paying your school fees.
Yes, it did. I managed to cover that amount which was needed, and also to buy some books to continue. Yes, though I couldn't finish my term 2. But my cousin came, looked at the situation, the way it was like, no, she can't stay here. Let me get her and start staying with her in Kabwe. That's how I found myself in Kabwe, Kohima Barracks. Where now I had to see my career, how it will be, how it is. They started inspiring me. I started growing up. Mental and physically, and also spiritual, because I never left my God. I was moving with my God wherever I go. So I definitely asked about the church things and the like, but to my surprise, I never went to start school there that same year. I was like told to wait to start. No, until it was too late, then I started the other year. So when I started that other year, I pushed term 1, term 2, before sitting for grade 9 exams. That's when I became pregnant. That was in 2007. So after, it was like 3 months to writing my exams, my cousin chased me and they told me to say, go back to your father. Cannot be feeding you and your child. Go back to your father.
And you were pregnant at that time?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So in those days, was it already the time when if you got pregnant, they would chase you from school, or were they still allowing you to be in school?
They were allowing, but it's just him. He couldn't handle the disappointment that
So did you go back to your parents, or where did you go?
He definitely gave me money to come back to my father. He was very upset that the hatred, it grew up like, I don't know, that I had to see things that I have never seen. I faced life a hard way.
Yes.
That it was hard, that I could work extra hard so that I raised that boy. Because it wasn't easy.
You had to start looking for jobs after you had your first son as a single parent, right?
Yeah, I raised that boy as a single parent, and village set up again back. So it was like doing gardening, especially. Could do farm lab, Chinese kalembla. Yeah, we would do that with mama kulumanda. Then kalima pakulu mukatyola baleta ku Soweto bakulisa. Then you just tell her to say, you buy this for me. But as usual, she never left my side. She never stopped supporting me.
The love of a mother.
But my father, it was love, it was tough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So after that, what was the next stage? Because in your story, I see that when I was going through your story, you later on got married. Was it there in where you went back in Mongolo area, or did you again move and then meet your husband?
After that, I sat home without going to school for 1 year, 3 months when I left that boy with my mother and my sister, my immediate sister. I was the one who was looking after. Then I went to Chongwe. Dad has to talk to his elder brother to say, she didn't write her grade 9. So she needs to write, and I don't want her to get married. Let her proceed with school. So, and also, I really wanted to go back to school. Yeah. I said, if I fail, I just have to fail. Maybe when I have grade 9 certificate, better, but not like this, no. So I went back to school, to Chongwe at a school called Pago Basic School. Okay. Yeah, so my uncle was the headmaster at that place. So I was privileged to start my grade 9 in term 2, where I ended. So I pushed. I wrote as an external candidate, but I did well. I passed my grade 9. Yeah, even kubachira baja bainze maintenance. Yeah. So that was in 2008. Yeah, 2008. I mean, it's a second term. So after writing, I helped them do farming in December. After that, yeah, and then it wasn't easy there. It wasn't because of the wife he was married to, was giving me tough.
She was tough on you.
Oh yeah, she was tough. She could talk and remind me of my past over and over again.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
Yeah, what I thank God was that it didn't break me. It like brought out the best in me.
You were focused on what you wanted.
Yes.
I think especially that you had already made a mistake before, so this time around you were determined.
Yes. She could use the words like, if you were like me, you wouldn't want another man to... After you finish, then after, when she saw how determined, focused I was, she got to ask me questions like, so when you pass your exams, who's going to be paying your school fees? And like I was like, no, I think what I'll do is I'll just go in town in Lusaka. That's what I want to do. Go up, so up. Nifuna nikasiliza chabe nikaenda kufarm. Nindo sakira nchito ya mnyumba. I want to raise money for school. So that was what happened exactly when I went. So I did everything without offending anyone, with clear picture. Went back to my parents, went to see my boy. Then, so came back to Lusaka. I think it was just a month or 2 months or so. That's when someone came to say, kuli bamene banabwera kunowe. Muzungu mamuna wa cousin wanga. So they want someone to work there as a maid, staying in. So that's how I found myself in Kamwala South as a farm area there. Yeah. So I stayed there. I worked with them. By then I know I never had an RC. It was okay. My story is like, my life is complicated, but it's never easy.
Yes, it wasn't easy.
It's not something that I can say it was easy. No.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, it was a rough one. So there I worked with them. They liked me, my character. They would say, "You are a good woman. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yeah, so do you want to go back to school?" And I said, "Yes, that's what I'm here." Oh, it's no, I never told it. They started buying books. At some point, they were like, "I think we need to go with you to Norway." So we have really liked, but that cousin, the person who was like, she never wanted me to go. So she started mistreating me somehow. Then by the time they were like pushing me to get my NRC so that they can get me a passport, then the white man, the father had a stroke. Then they had to dash back to Norway. Yeah, so that's how it ended there. Then I found myself again. Someone wanted someone to work with in Avondale. The Avondale, by then my sister gotten married. So I pushed there. I couldn't like it the way the owner of the house was like doing some advances in me, like wanting to sleep with me when the wife is away. So I could complain.
To abuse you.
So I could complain. When I complained to the wife, when she comes, then the wife would like shout at me and say, "No, you are lying. You are just not a good person." What? So I surrendered that job.
She probably felt you wanted to ruin her marriage, and maybe it was the other way around, because a lot of people are usually in denial, and that's why you find that people keep quiet, and some young girls are even abused by the people that that are looking after them, and they hide those stories. So now, at what point did you get married?
That was when now I left that job. I came to start staying with my sister when she was married. So after that, that's how I met Mr. Matimba, my late husband, the man who loved me, really, like filling in that gap. I was feeling like I'm rejected. I found a father in that man, a friend, a companion, everything. So I just said, oh, yeah, that was like, I was by then 24, 25 somewhere. Yeah. So that's the time I got married to him. Yes.
For how many years were you married to him?
Yeah, it was like 8 years.
8 years. And were there any children between you?
Yeah, I gave him 2. A boy and a girl.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And when you were with your husband, now that you were married, were you working or were you doing any business, or he's the one who was just taking care of the family?
He was the one who was taking care of us. I wasn't working by then. Yeah, but I would push him to say, I want to look for a job. But he could refuse to say, no, I know what happens. I don't want you to work. I want you to take care of the children.
Yes.
They are very small. You can't leave them like this. I'm still here, even though he has like challenges, like kudwala pafupi, but he could like stop me looking for a job.
Okay, he had ill health.
Yeah,
okay.
He was.
So, what year did he pass on?
Mr. Matimba died in 2018.
Okay.
Yes.
So what was it like, because you were still young and you had those little children, and I don't know whether your first child was still with your parents?
Yeah.
Or you brought him as
No,
well?
we never stayed with my child.
Okay.
With my new husband, but he was very supportive.
Okay.
Yeah, we could send, I could go, he could come, but my mother and my father were against getting him.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, no, uyeve, kala nabana abantu bamene mwabala uko, uyu ni wanga, nazikulisira neka, I want to see this boy up.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it was. He grew up with my father.
So when he passed away, because you were not working, what was it like?
Life wasn't easy. Yeah, and I went through a lot. Yeah, it wasn't easy until I found myself in a WhatsApp group. That group was a mixture of singles and married. So we could talk about real life stories. Yes, whereby I had to open up to the group, like post to say mwe bantu nitandize nikoni chito ili yonse chabe whether you're killing or chapati not yogulisa muba no. Yes, I would always say that.
You were principled.
Yes, not yogulisa muba, but ili yonse I can work, but not yogulisa muba. Then they would like, okay, sales, we'll do that. Then the other man was like, inboxed me and said, by the name of Mr. Ziambo, was like, yeah, why didn't you tell me like 2 weeks ago? I was employing people. I'm the one of the company, so we work with his. By then, Zamsa was called the medical stores in Wesel. Yes, so I got a contract there. So I have people working there. But let me see what I can do. I can help you out. yeah, I think I see you need the help a lot. For you to come up like that, it means that you are going through a lot. So God used that man. But before that, I was in the street. Yeah, before that. I think by then, after that cholera things,
Yes.
when I had to leave the street and go home, that's the time that I found myself in that group and they talked to him.
What kind of business were you doing when you were a street vendor? And because I remember in the PF days, there was a lot of there were people on the streets. People were allowed to sell on the streets. It was full of people selling all kinds of things, even different things. So, what kind of business were you into?
At first, I was working with Parkrite. As a marshal. That's where I started from, as a marshal.
Or those people that assist in parking cars. Was it under the city council, or was it a private company that was contracted by the city council?
It was contracted by city, LOCC. Yeah, so that's where I started from. Then pushed, the company was taken over from the government, and then that man used to like abuse us in the street. We did a protest, like the other. I was like one of them.
How was he abusing you? What kind of abuse were you receiving?
They wasn't giving us money, but they could say go to civic center there, tell the government officials to tell them to say, yeah, we are paying them this such amount of which they never used to like give us. But when they come, they will shout at us. Then we got furious. So I was one of them who speak to journalists in front and complain a lot. They're abusing it. Look at the way our skins are looking. What? They are so weird. Like,
standing in the sun.
Yeah.
Then baking in the sun.
Yeah, where we could make money. Maybe you are given a target of like every day you have to cash in 300 or 250 somewhere. Then I was like, kuchira pali your amount. I would work hard. I even escaped a lot of accidents in the streets.
Wow.
But when you go there, you just find something parallel. I could get upset and yeah, I think for that to happen, I think I just see God, because I was almost taken by the street. It was like this. I would have been a street vendor or a junk at some point. Yeah, like the street, there's just a certain way that the street controls.
Yes,
yeah.
The mob psychology.
Yeah.
You fall into that as well.
Yeah, you find that the next vehicle that will come, that person will be like, come to you. But the next one will be like shouting at you, calling you, shut. Then I could be upset, because if there is something that I don't like, it's like somebody disrespecting me. That one, you can get me. That one, I don't like it. So I would stand and tell them to say, disrespecting me, no. So I could if it means to fight, I reached. Then again, when I reach home, I say, oh God, I'm sorry. I know.
Start repenting.
I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but please help me out. What would I do? Until that company was taken over. Yeah, but others remained. They went back to LOCC, but that's kind of, we had issues.
Yes.
So we couldn't, we went home. Then my sister-in-law, the cousin to my late husband, came and said, napeza nchito ine. Manje, nilibeonisalirako. So nimagulisa chani. Talk time pa Regent College. Can you look now, I'll be giving you a 500. Then so that you'll be taking care of the children and you're staying at home. I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do. Let me just start from there. That's how I got to meet you, how I got to know you by then when you were at Regent College there in town. So I was working for her. I could encounter challenges of shortages. She would deduct from the same salary that I need to pay rentals as well instead of being helpful. But no, it was like she was taking away from me. So I couldn't feel that much good.
So how were you managing? Because you had the two children with you, right?
Yes.
So how are you managing to survive rent and food? Because I remember on those streets at that time we had a shop there just along Freedom Way, and I could see a lot of things that were going on. And sometimes it was rough on the streets. People would fight. People would would accuse each other of witchcraft, and then you are working and somebody is not paying you. Wenza okwanisa bwanji n'abaana na nkani ya marenti na kudya consent. Your children had to go to school.
By then, my children wasn't, only Ryan, like a boy, was like 3 years somewhere. 3 years, yeah. So Ryan could go on and mulipirirako namusia ku school, but the baby, I used to carry her. So well-wishers just there would buy food for her, and others would just say, oh, I've given you money, go you buy rice for her, a meal of rice, how to survive. Others will, like, sometimes, I don't know how it used to happen, someone will come to buy a talk time for 5 kwacha, will give you a 50 kwacha, maybe 100 kwacha, forget the change. I'll keep that change until maybe 1 week is nowhere to be seen. So I would, like, use that money afterwards. It would be like, what way my that's how I used to survive. Sometimes soldier bakusira. Yeah, a lot of people came in for me, like helping there and then. Yeah, so until that lady withdrawn her money, then I started doing my own talk time now. Pushed in a little bit until those people came, the soldiers in the street. I could dodge them, but they never, in fact, catch me selling by then. So I was like, just saying, whenever I'm facing with them, I would even sell them talk time. Sell them, then I tell them to say, I would tell them to say, you know what, you are not supposed to be in town. Go in the bush where you are. Slave, I say, this is my widow. If I were to tell you what are you talking about? No. Even that punishment they were giving people to say, me, I never did that. I was like, pass. Whenever I see them, I will be like, please, and they will like, let me be. Until when drama and angenesa, then I was like, went home, sit. That's when now I had to post on that
group. Yes, you mentioned, and you ended up going to medical stores.
Yes.
And working from there. How long did you work at medical stores?
I was with medical stores 2 years, 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the contract was terminated. So, because of being good to people, good pays, because of being good to people, I met 2 sisters there who became, they were like my boss. I could wash their cups, clean, help them get food from the canteen. Then they were like, I think you are a good, but you are a very good woman. Are you a woman of God? I would refuse that, but that's the name that they knew me that side to say, that one is a woman of God. But I was like, refuse, no, I just pray. And I was very, very, very powerful by then. So I could pray for people. I could encourage, counsel people through the experience that I had from the time I lost my husband. 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere up to 2021. That January 2021. That's when the contract was terminated. In fact, it was terminated in 2020 December. Then in 2021, they just called us to just orient people.
Yes.
Yeah. So those sisters, by the name of Anastasia, Mohoni, then Sikwese, and also Sangwan Kaira. Those 2 women, they stood up for me. Then they were like telling me to say, pray for us, we want to shift to go to South Africa. So already Sangwan has a family in South Africa, but the husband for Madam Anastasia Sikwese was like given a job that side in South Africa. So that's how she was like, pray for us so that we also follow my husband. So at some point before leaving, and someone left, but she got my number, my contact to say, I need you in my life. By then I was just nothing, but of course, God with me.
Faith.
With faith,
With a lot
so
of
she was like, no, I don't want to. She would ask me questions. Can you do business? Not, madam, I can't lie. This salary I'm going to take. By then it was like, we are just given 1,150. Then we could face challenges whereby 3 months, that's when you are getting the salary for the first month. Sometimes if you are lucky enough, if you pay you 2 months, but already you are working, the money is already gone.
Yes.
It was a challenge because after the death of my husband, mom had to get the children to say, until you heal, you're like, that's when you can come and get your children when you are stable. This time, let me have the children. That's how mom got my two children as well. They
Yes.
went to mom. So that's how I could I started working just a month after marrying my husband. That's when I was like, let me just go. I could like work. I go hide in the boxes for them because that was in the warehouse where they keep medicine there. So we could work from the warehouse there before I went to start working in the offices. So it was just work. Whenever I think, I just go cry. There's this woman who came through for me, comforting me, just like that. It was a bad experience, and the other part wasn't supportive. Yeah, that's what I can say.
The support wasn't there on
only one side.
From your family,
from my family. Yes,
and friends.
Yeah. So after praying for those people, someone never stopped communicating with me despite being in South Africa. She could like send clothes for my children, shoes for children, send money for me, just like that. She could like, even when I was there, she used to do that. Give me money, use for your transport. I find that maybe I don't even have food at home. I'll go buy. So they were like, God just brought them in my life.
They were helping you.
Yeah. Those are the people that I saw that they were like sent by God to elevate me. Yeah. So after that, Anna also followed. Before following, she could send money to her, or she would go her get money. Then when she's given money, she would like add as well, give to me to say, oh, Hilda there. Then they were like, I was just home. And that was the longest period because of COVID-19. Yeah. That I stayed without work because always I could like when I lost a job within 2-3 months I'll find, but that one was like 8 months without a job with children. The money that I had, it was like all gone, but God never left my side. They were like whenever they send money I'll pay for my house rentals. I just went to look for. I was staying in a two-room house, so I could just there see. From morning, what will I do? Just like that. Maybe I just look for a job. Where will I go? Because COVID was like I had only a pick. So until one day, Anna had a friend by the name of Anna as well. So Anna got this contract with the UBA Bank. Yeah, so she was like, yeah, Hilda, I talked to my friend. I thought of you. I told her to say, Hilda is a widow and she has children. So could you please assist with a job? How about your cleaning cupboard? Can't she? I know I recommend her 100%. She's very good with what she does. Very focused, very good person. So she didn't hesitate. She said, okay, I'll let you know once I opened my company. Very soon we are starting working. We have a contract already there. So I started with she called me at some point. Yeah, that's how I went to the interviews to her place. I did the interviews kunyumba kwake. Then that's when she told me to say, kuli COVID, then where I want you to start working. It's Angola embassy. So Baviko vama COVID. Can you go and have yourself tested? Then after that you bring the cash and the currency to me. I see how it will come out. So me knowing, and I never wanted that.
You were scared.
But I
COVID was scary.
Yeah. I went there,
scary.
did some swab, but I didn't have them inject me, no. But I got all what I did. I had some people there, they helped me out. Then I got what I wanted and went and present. So then she told me to say, you have to come on Monday so that I take you there. Otherwise, I just tell you to say, go on your own, they won't allow you. Yeah. So that's how I went there, started at embassy. Okay. So before even doing that, Nishi was Bakashana, a group of ladies. There's a group where that group is called Wise and Destined Women. Okay. So they had come in. I would like talk to them to say, we want to help me. I want to do something, but I don't have even capital. What will I do? Then they were like, don't worry, we'll do something. So the very same day that I reported, that's the very same day they sent me like a 1,050 water. You start business. We don't know what kind of business you are going to do, but start something. So I thought of, should I start ordering fish? Then again I said no. Then one of the ladies in that group by the name of Musonda Manyika, Then she was like, Hilda, that money, let me use it for you. Then when it is like multiplies like 3,000, I will start my husband is a truck driver, so he goes to South Africa. So I do business I normally go with him, so I can be carrying. That's how I started my business from there. I started ordering duvets from South Africa. She started ordering duvets. So I never knew where to sell those things, but the genesis of entering Embassy in a company called Golden Broom as a cleaner, that's where now my career started from. Yeah. So from there, I could like work. Then I do some online business, like
selling online.
Yeah. So I would do advertise my things. Then after that, they will like give. But my bank, because I normally use they normally love white things. So I remember bringing me like 8 duvets in white. The majority was white. They got them. I saw them. They got again. We did that until something happened. You know how business is. It's ups and downs. But otherwise, people supported me a lot until I grew that business. So I was with work and. The moment I worked with Angola for 3 months, after that I was like, just told Hilda, from tomorrow onwards, you are going to UBA Bank. That's where you'll be working from. So UBA by then was opening. That was 2021. Yeah, 2021 September. That's when I went to UBA. So when I went there, without me knowing that they have opened a branch, Lewanika branch. So the lady who was working there, she used to stay in Mtendele. So how it was easy there to move. So I was moved there on her place. Started working wing up and so I could pray to say, God, if I know, you know where I'm supposed to be, but what I want, you know my needs and my wants. So what I want you like whenever I'm cleaning, people should be seeing the difference in me. I could do the way I could do. I don't even understand the way I could use my Kamaton cloth to mop, to clean, whatever. But it was like, it was like whenever the managers are watching, especially that wing had the marketing manager was that side where I was working from. So her name is Wezimuyembe. That woman, she was like, she never used to choose like, when you clean out that she's a person for all and very loving. She would do kata for my breakfast, lunch. What are you going to eat, Hilda? What? So I had that grace of like, my bosses, not that I was using to shower, no. I would just pray. The only medicine I could use was a prayer. That's all. I could just pray to say, God, handle my day. I don't know what it is, but please give me the grace to do everything. Let this day be a special day for me. I would go there whenever they would be like. So I worked like a year. The next year, the lady called Milambo came in. Milambo Kawan, So she came in, she started like fighting with Muyembe, with like, give me this one. She's supposed to be working in MD's office. No, manje. Actually, they could like fight. Like I could hear, then I would be like, but what is going on? Without saying anything, I'll be just keeping quiet like that. So it was like, I'll take care of them. All I'll do is ask them what they'll have for lunch. Then they'll cut my lunch, even the bread for my children. To be like, go buy your children bread. Okay. Before I know it, I will knock off maybe 200 going home, or maybe 100 kwacha going home. Just like that, I wouldn't suffer for transport or what.
So were you eventually moved from where you were to the head office the way they wanted?
Yes, until they like moved me from downstairs wing up to, I went to executive wing as MD's
cleaner.
Janitor there in the office. Yes. That's how I worked with MD, and just like everything, we just worked in place. I was punctual. I followed what he wants. I did everything, giving him respect, of course,
Yes.
laughing with him, asking, greeting him, how his family is, just like that. Yeah.
You were courteous, you were respectful.
Yes.
You didn't take advantage of the way they were treating you.
No.
And you were diligent in your work.
Yes, very much.
I saw something that was written in a magazine, an in-house magazine for UBA, and how when you went into that place, I would like to quote what is written there, saying you were devoted to your cleaning duties and you put in your level best in your services. And because of that, it helped you develop your skills such as good customer service, excellent communication, and tenacity. And they also say that the results were birthed from passion, perseverance, and dedication. This is what they've said about you in that in-house magazine, and that's how that your dream came to change in that place. Instead of just being a cleaner, they recognize you because of hard work. Nowadays, we hear a lot of complaints. I've been in a places where I've helped people to connect them, maybe to get jobs, or I've asked someone to do something for me. You find that a lot of people are complaining about kuti mazambi ni baulesi sibasebenza bwino kamutuma bachedwa, especially with time. But it's so good to see that coming from the background that you're coming from, you actually held on to the principles of hard work, of diligence. And so I would want you to tell us a bit on how you moved from being a janitor, a cleaner, and to now being employed by the bank as a bank worker.
Okay, on that one, as I was working there, like I worked in MD's office, like 2 years. Yeah, MD could say, thank me of how I work. Whenever it is Christmas time, you give me bonus. Those other friends of mine who don't get that, but I would get the package. I think in the magazine, it was like showed in those photos before and after. Yeah. So after he recognized me to be a hardworking person, a principled person, and then the way I could relate, the way I could speak my English.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like nice. The way I could dress, he would like say, you always dress like a banker. Keep it up. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I never knew that I was like thinking of something. I didn't. But one of my supervisors like became jealous of that, started creating issues for me. But up to that, that's where now my career was based. I didn't know that the accusation that she got, she would go talk bad about me to my employer. Yeah. Then after that, without my employer finding out how it is from my side, she could just talk bad, shout at me, doing all, even reaching a point where she couldn't even talk to me. So until they were like, they had me, like transferred me from MD's office to Kamara branch. Okay. So I was doing business in that. The business that I was doing, I was like doing it with the ladies in South Africa. Yes. So she could order things for me, bring the perfumes. Also, she was selling perfumes, but the brand, of course, it was different. Yes. So by so doing, she became jealous because my perfume was like that long-lasting original one. Yeah, compared to her. So she wanted to take over the market, which was there. She couldn't handle that. So they already
created stories.
Yeah, she created stories that I should be moved there. So anyway, when you have that relationship with people and you know how you handle people, how you take, the way you take yourself, and of course, who is with you. Yeah, that's what matters in life. That's right. God was with me. So I went there. Yeah, I complained. I cried in the night. It was bad. It was bad where my employer was like to also say things like, "Oh, take you to court." And me in the court, it's a no-go area. I don't like it. I don't like it. So she was like, I'll take you to court. How can you talk about that with my company? How do you have my company terminated? Then I asked her to say,
their company, the contract was terminated?
No, it wasn't. She just told my boss to say,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I said, but which is not, of course. Yeah. So I said, okay, it's fine. Then I went home, knelt down. I remember that day, cried, told God to say, God, I don't know if I had said this, punish me. But if I didn't say this, can you show yourself so that people can know that indeed it is your doing? Let there be something that will vindicate me, and that's something that will happen. People should know that indeed there is God in heaven. I prayed just that one because I couldn't sleep then. It was like around 03. Then I need also to wake up 05 to go for work. I had like given up at some point to say, can I just resign? Then I also looked at it to say, if I resign, then people will think that I really did this.
Yes.
Then let me just, had no strength. I remember that day going for work, looking like somebody was just crying the whole night. Then one of the bosses, customer experience boss Milambo, would ask me, Hilda, you are not finished. All things are okay with you. You have got my sister. Stop this. Why are you looking? Stop crying. Because she would just, whenever she looked at me, I look at her, I would just, the tears would just fall like, Madam, I never did it. I never said anything like that.
So how did that change? How did that end now? For it to turn from now you being taken away from the head office, and now you're working there, you're feeling so bad because you've been falsely accused.
Yeah.
So how did that now change for you to go back and be now full on staff in the bank?
Okay, I went there, then I just focused on work and also business. And the way it happened was like business boomed from the way it was. Now it went like another grace on top of it. So I could like, I'm that side, but it was like every day I'm present, head office taking things, my goods there to supply. So after that, then there's always a meeting that happens every after 2 weeks once, that Monday meeting, Codesco. My name was like being discussed in that boardroom, talking about, why did you have Hilda removed here? Did I ever complain that she's not doing her duties? Why? I want her back. But there were, of course, oppositions. But,
Yes.
God, if he wants to do something, he makes sure he makes something that people should at last see that it was him here doing things. Like I told you earlier, I never had any qualification, only my grade 9 certificate. Then I worked there. One day I just said, let me go to the head office. I see one of people who, like bosses who she had called me actually to say, you come, you get your money, I want to see you. Then after seeing that boss lady by the name of Madam Tola, I went to his office. I said, I want to see MT today. I say, how are you? Then I went to the way he responded. He saw me just the way, jovial, what, very happy, even gave me money for transport, asked me how I moved from my place to Kamala. Then I told him, I never lied to say, MD, sometimes our drivers here, they give me like transport to like go home. Okay. Hilda, sometimes it's good to change workplaces. It's okay. It's good. It's good. I'm happy that you are enjoying work. Then I said, okay, thank you. So no, I just said, okay, Emily, it's time for me to leave. Thank you. I went, then he gave me money for transport. I went. Then when I reached home, that was a weekend. That was Friday. Monday, he sent me a text actually on Facebook. In my inbox was like, messenger, Hilda, help me with your number. That was empty. So I was like, what is going on? I don't even know. That's where now curiosity, anxiousness, I was like overwhelmed to want to know what is going on. For him all these years, he has never asked my number. But that day, then around the very same day, head HR called me around the 10, 11, greeted me. She was, whenever all this, when it was happening, she wasn't in the office. She went for a maternity leave. So after HR called me direct to say, you should come to my office around 9 hours. Then I told her to say, do you know that I'm not around, that I'm very much aware of what is happening. So come to my office, don't delay. I was like, what have I done? I went in the votes in the same branch I was working for. I knelt it down just to pray, to tell God to say, give me wisdom, knowledge, and give me this grace of what to say when I reach there, because I'm blank, I don't even know what it is. I was in fear, I was shaking like, what is it that want to MD wants my number? And then that I went to pray, I never told anyone to say this is what is happening. But I just went to tell her, there's a customer experience Maria CFC that side. Then I told her to say, Madam, ukomboka ko fast lero. So vanita na head office. Yeah. I knew that she won't say anything to say why you convoke time karibe kukwana. Once that, then she said, "Oh, are you done with it? Just to make sure that the washrooms for ladies they are in okay. Then you can leave." Not yes, I'm done already. That's how I quickly changed. Then paid the driver to take me to head office. While there, I was like straight to meet Madam Mirambo. Madam Mirambo, you just calm down. Come with me. Let's go to HR's office. Me, I went there thinking in my mind, maybe it is because of me showing up always there. People are complaining. That was what was in my mind. Then she was like, she started telling me to say, Hilda, you know, we have called you here. This business you do, people are complaining that you are giving them pressure. What? So we are here to tell you as your sisters to say you at least stop bringing business here. Then I said, yeah, I knew it, that this is the reason why you are calling me. I knew it. Yeah. Then they said, no, far from it. You are here for some interviews. I was shocked. I can say that. I felt to cry. I felt to jump. I felt they were like, what? Then I said, interviews. What interviews are you talking about? Yeah. They said that, yeah. Are you aware that the receptionist resigned? Not yes, I'm aware. Actually, I was praying with her that she wanted to find a job where she was applying. She was like rejected always. So I was with her in prayers. So I'm aware. And when she was called and when she was to resume work, she called me to testify, to say, thank you for your prayers. Then I was like, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you see why God loves you. You know what? That job, that's it. That office, it's all yours. Wow. I was like, what? Yes. What do I have? He said, like, you have God in your life. Yes. You have God. You know, Hilda, the HR talked about a lot of things that I never knew about me. Whenever what I was doing in my duties, I never knew that I was a good person. I never knew that people were watching me. Yes. I never knew. She said, you are very humble. You are a very good person. We have been like observing whatever you do. Yeah. So continue doing this and continue. You'll see more things coming your way. Continue, never leave your God. You know, this is your job. MD said we should give you this job. I was like, wow. Are you like, for you? Am I dreaming or what? I stood up.
Yourself.
I stood up. I jumped at it. I couldn't. Yeah. I was like, oh, so, yeah. Concentrate to us now. Yeah, so we have just some few questions for you. And they were just 2 questions. Wow. They were just like, how far have you gone with your education? And I stood, you know, I love telling the truth. I was like, I told them, I only have grade 9 certificate. Do you know how to operate the computer? I said, madam, I just know where to switch it on and switch it off. Yes. So honesty. So, honestly speaking, then they were like, that's not a problem. So long you have room to learn, you learn. You learn, definitely. You learn. But yeah. Then I thought of it. I was like, my career again had changed after the death of my husband. I really got connected and concerned with it. I could feel that passion to work in the hospital. So at some point when the government was recruiting my general workers, I had a pride and I knew somebody who could push in for me to get a job as a cleaner in government hospitals. I was like, when I just find that opportunity, I need to go back to school. I started pushing myself to school. That was what I wanted. Then it never worked. Then I told myself to say, I think I will never apply again in my life.
But there was a job that just came.
I never dreamed of being in the corporate world. I never dreamed. But my mine was like to be like in government, working like whatever those areas. Can pass such opportunity government as a cleaner. Then I'm good to go. Because I know government my opportunities. I have a lot of opportunities. I would be going on leave, working than the way they are sharing me here. Like whenever I get sick, they will be like, no, sana, dwale. aenda chabe ku South Africa kubaoda yosana chitapwa they could call me I'm in bed sick call me video calls to see to really
sure.
to make sure that sinarove sinili ku South Africa then I could just say
no, your story is really inspiring.
Yes.
And you are just teaching us that we should not despair and look down on small beginnings, as the Bible encourages in Zechariah 4:10. You know, we start small, and sometimes kunkara kuona like this life will never change. But here you are a living testimony of a person that has come from widowhood, from education, born say like nothing is going to work. And today you are in the corporate world. Today you're speaking to people at the reception. Today your life has changed, and I believe your children are all in school now.
Yes, they are.
And how is your business? Have you continued with the business?
Yes, but I'm just doing it patali because after I started working there, I enrolled for school.
Good.
So I go to school like and evening classes. So after work, I have to go to school after work. So last year, I enrolled like in 4 subjects. I managed to clear 3. One, I dropped. Then
congratulations!
Then
well
this
done.
year again, I enrolled with 3, and I'm very much sure that God
will clear them.
Yeah, I'll clear them through the help of the
Well
Holy Spirit.
done, well done.
So in the area of business, I've like stepped down a bit, but I do it patali chabe, so that I don't focus much. I pay much attention to studies.
School, yes. Can you speak to somebody out there who is watching wakuti life yake palibe hope? It looks like there's nothing there down there. You've been at a place, your journey has been quite long. Education, you had dreams, but those dreams were shattered. You got married, you lived with different people, you were rejected from a young age. There were so many things. You had aspirations, and those dreams were cut short each time you seemed to go forward. So kambako n'abantu bawuzeeko just to encourage kapena abantu benangu who are going through something similar, maybe some in a different way, but it is hard, and I want you to give them a word of encouragement.
Okay, dear viewers, get it from me here. Life is never easy, despite you have degrees, you have diplomas, PhDs, but there is just at a certain level where you can try this, try that, you don't get it. But what I can encourage you is that you never give up. In a pano asembe kwenze kuyamba mu bakapena na buhule, I would have been a finished product, but God has seen me through. God cannot see you through the way he did or showed up for you like he did it to me. But there will be always a way God blesses. There is always a way God will respond to your matter. If you remember the story in Genesis chapter, is it 10? Somewhere 10, 22 to 27, if not mistaken. The children of Israel, when they left Egypt, going to the promised land, they passed through tribulations and the like. But when they reached a place where they like saw, witnessed how God killed the Pharaoh, the children of the Pharaoh armies and the like. But God told them again, pushed them, took them to a place where they were thirsty, they were passing. That thirst, that what it symbolizes that God were testing them to be that in that situation, and that place were called Mara. So God was like, in their bitterness, he told them not to give up. He wanted them to learn a lesson in life. So this bitterness that I went through, I was going to be somebody who is bitter, but God saw it fit that I can stand today to sit here to encourage somebody out there, to tell them the story of where have come from, that you should also find hope in that situation of no job, that situation whereby maybe your marriage is crumbling, that situation where you don't know your tomorrow, you just know your today, that situation where you can't do anything, then you say it is finished. But God is saying that it's never finished. You still have hope. So long you have hope. God, can you just hold on to that hope? I would always, I have this scripture in me, Psalms 23, verse 1 to 6. Please hold on to your God. You can pass through that wilderness, but let God be your shepherd.
Amen.
Let God see you through. Dwell in the house of God. See God as your turning point of everything. I know it's never easy, but when you call him, he's always there for you.
Amen.
He can people can forsake you. I passed through that. None of my family members came through, but God used people. There's some people that I have never known that I'll find them, but they were like positioned to help me out. And I'm here to stand boldly, to testify this goodness of God because of people.
Hallelujah.
So please, children of God, let's just hold on. Yeah, that's the encouragement that I can tell you, to say, hold on a little longer, a little while. Your Savior will come through for you.
Thank you so much, Hilda. That's a very wonderful story. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for opening up to us. Thank you for encouraging the people. We've come to the end of this episode of Beautiful Ashes with Hilda Hangoma. You've heard her story, and I just want also to tell you that just like Hilda, God is no respecter of persons. She has mentioned she had no education. She was down just right at the bottom, but God was seeing her. And Romans 8:28, I'll also add, says all things, everything, work together for good to those who love the Lord, those who are called according to his purpose. So God has a purpose and a plan for your life, and he will bring you out. Though you go through the waters, though you go through the fires, the Lord is with you. He may be silent. You may feel like there's nobody there with you, but he is there. He will give you beauty for ashes, joy for mourning. So see you next week on another episode of Beautiful Ashes. Thank you for watching, and keep watching BMTV on channel 114 Top Star and on YouTube, and you can follow our Facebook page. Have a good day.
They said I'm finished, point at my scars, then turn away. But I keep breathing, fire in my chest that just won't fade. Red dust on my sandals, still I walk in grace. Face to the sunrise, tears drying on my face. Beautiful ashes, I'm rising from the ground again. Dancing through damage, my broken heart